Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome to Business Focus, produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. This week's guest, I'm so excited to have Miss Liz Bloomfield with Ripple Effect Images. Liz, welcome.
Hi, Angela. How are you today?
I am excited to have you here. I'm great, though. Thank you for asking. So this week's podcast is all about our upcoming women's event that I'm so excited that we brainstormed just a couple of months ago and are finally delivering. So let's talk a little bit about that. But first, let's talk about what you do during the day. I'm sure you do something else other than chamber stuff. So why don't you share that with the audience?
Thanks, Angela. So I'm the executive director of Ripple Effect Images, which is a nonprofit that uses visual storytelling, so film, photography, animation, to shine a light on solutions empowering women all across the globe. So we find what's working, and then we film it so that we can share it with the world, and those programs can be replicated and expanded for even greater impact. And I also support purpose-driven people who are seeking to make a difference in the world, but perhaps are lacking in energy. And my business, Energized Impact, really seeks to help them build the mental and physical fitness that enables them to do even more good in the world.
Well, thank you for that. We do. We all need more energy and focus. And so thank you for all that you're doing. I was so excited to meet you just a few months back and get you more engaged in doing things and giving back to the chamber. So thank you. And I'm thrilled that you're actually moderating. This is perfect, right up your alley for this event. So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about it. Social impact, women leading social impact. Let's talk a little bit about kind of the event and how we kind of came up with it and deciphered this particular topic. Because we're looking to kind of change what women are talking about, or really what our community is talking about, and having conversations and engaging more and really continuing the conversation. So let's talk a little bit more about how we came up with social impact.
Yeah, and absolutely. I think social impact is such a relevant topic for Reston because let's be honest, Reston is a really special place. We have a very unique community. And when you think about the vision of Reston's founder, Robert Simon, of this place where people could live and work and play in the same place, then that really speaks to why it's so important that we're able to have that energy around social impact, that we can do our work, but we can also do that in a way that enhances the community in which we live on a local level, but that extends out globally. So there really is that ripple effect. And so I think that's what really got us engaged about how do we have this conversation? How do we talk about the opportunities that exist for local businesses, small and large, and nonprofits and other social impact organizations to work together, but doing that in a way that's really focused on action, so that again that can be expanded and built upon. And I think what we're really keen to do in this discussion is to really highlight some practical examples of how that's already happening. You know, let's talk to some of these organizations that have this incredible vision and are putting it into practice, so that we can inspire others in the community to take action, to do their part. And I think that's really exciting.
Really organically, I feel like when we were having the discussion on these organizations and these big organizations like StarKiss, right, Reston Community Center, the big players here, what are they doing? And they already have a lot of this in place. So it's just natural to share it in Leidos. And we've got a great panel. We'll talk more about it. But they've already have this like global vision, right? But it's hugely impacting our local community. So, you know, more about that. Yeah.
It is. And I think what's at the root of that, the strong foundation upon which that is built, is shared values, shared vision of what they want for our community, what they want for a better world. And I think when you have that clarity, when you have that shared vision, it becomes much more than just a transactional relationship. It becomes one that can be truly transformational, because we're working towards something that we really care about, that really changes our lives as members of the community within which we live and work, but that also has the opportunity to expand out far beyond that and be a model for others. And so I think that's where, again, some of the examples that we'll be able to share and some of the partnerships and collaborations that we'll be able to lift the curtain on will be a really fascinating discussion.
Yeah, I think once you start talking with these executives and we start bringing the conversation to light, it'll be interesting how they overlap. And, one thing that somebody was sharing with me when we were just brainstorming was, everybody impacts the community differently. So I'm, just James and I are, two people in our business, but yet look at what I do with the community, right? Look what I do with the chamber. And that has just as much impact as, some of these larger women executives or just executives in general who are doing great things with, as multi-billion dollar organizations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's really kind of eye opening. So I'm really excited to hear about those, more conversations and then how we can implement them at a local level, even with some smaller organizations, like I said, like myself. I mean, is that how you envisioning some of these conversations going?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's giving people inspiration for how they can engage where they are with what they have. It's not about having multi-million dollar budgets. It's sometimes it's about just doing something that your community needs. You don't need to go to the other side of the world to have an impact.
Right. Right.
Actually, there's somebody at the end of your street, there's somebody in your community, there's ways in which you can make a difference. And so I think being able to talk about it on those different levels will
Mhm.
help inspire people that actually they can make a difference. They really can. And that actually the partnerships are the way to really accelerate that also.
Absolutely. And before we decided on social impact, that topic seemed to kind of bubble up right to the top, but we had
Mm-hmm.
other thoughts. And this is just the start. The women's leadership group at the Reston Chamber is just kicking off. So I believe the momentum is just going to really skyrocket from here. We were talking about some other topics. And of course, you were kind of leading the discussion, but
Yeah, once we started brainstorming,
yeah.
Angela, it was like hard to put the genie back in the bottle. I know we see real opportunity for conversations around STEM. I think also there's a great opportunity for some bringing together some different perspectives around diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. And again, not trying to recreate conversations that have already been had. There's some great dialogue, there's some great initiatives, but how can we take the unique combination of experiences that we have, the opportunity that we have to bring people together who have come from different places, and that elevates the discussion in a really special way. And so I think that's where we see this women's leadership series just providing a different perspective. And I think that's something that will grow and build
Yes.
over time. And I think we're really keen to ensure that the people who participate, that join us in these discussions, also share their ideas about what they would like to talk about, where they see opportunities to bring interesting people together. So we're really open to that level of engagement and participation.
100%. We've just been talking about it kind of at a low level ever since we've been, having this conversation about social impact. And the interest from sponsors and just other members in the community is like, how can I get, involved? And that's what we want. Like you said, we want not necessarily trending topics, but we want relevant topics that are affecting and impacting our community. So yeah, we welcome that. And we'll have more information on kind of where we're going after this, but let's get to a little bit of the nuts and bolts of this event. And then we're
Yeah.
going to definitely have subsequent conversations after that. I'm hoping with, some of the panel members, but yeah. So keep hitting this microphone. I'm going to learn how to do this podcasting thing eventually, people. But so Liz is moderating, and can you talk about the panelists? So it's June 11th. It is a Wednesday morning. We're hosting it at the Northwest Federal Credit Union Cafe in Herndon, 8:30 to 10 on that morning. And it's going to be an opportunity to network, have a little bit of breakfast and coffee, and then just engage with our panelists. So can you share a little bit more about who we're talking to?
Absolutely. So we have Kia Cole Hines, who's the president and CEO of Leadership Fairfax. So she's going to bring a really unique perspective on women's leadership and leadership more broadly in the region. We have Michelle Ford Face, who's the head of corporate affairs and government relations at Starkist. So, they've come into the Reston community with this fabulous vision and this real commitment to corporate social responsibility and social impact. So I just know they're going to bring some brilliant perspectives. We have the wonderful Lila Gordon, who's executive director of the Reston Community Centre. And as I've mentioned before, Reston is so special in the community that it offers, and Reston Community Centre is at the heart of that. Lila's been in that role for many, many years, and she just is has this incredible vision for what is possible when communities come together. We have Carla Post, who's a senior manager for sustainability at Leidos. Again, an incredible partner of the Chamber, who bring with them real vision as it relates to social impact and responsibility. And then we also have Michelle Sandy, community engagement manager at Northwest Federal Credit Union, who are a brilliant partner of the Chamber, a really strong advocate in the community. And so I think these different perspectives together will enable us to have a really stimulating discussion, because I think they come each with their unique experiences, each with their with somewhat different corporate or organizational goals, but united in this shared vision of community, of working together, of building a better future. And I think the opportunity for bringing these different female voices together is particularly special, because something I've noticed in my work with Ripple and some of the other initiatives that I've worked on around women's leadership globally is there's an opportunity to really switch up the conversations that we're having about leadership. When we're thinking about the next generation of leadership, what opportunities does that present? And I think that's why this panel is really well suited to be having this conversation. But I think it sets us up well for future sessions in the series around really elevating that conversation. But let me emphasize, Angela, this is not a session just for women. We welcome everyone. And 100%. I think, I would say, if you're optimistic about the possibilities out there in the world for social impact, for driving change, for investing in and engaging with communities, then this session is for you. You will come away with something useful. And so I really want to ensure everyone knows that it's a session that's open to everyone, and we can't wait to see as many different people as possible.
I love the way you ended that. That was absolutely perfect and exactly right. If there's one thing that I've seen a difference in over the last 15 years of being, having our own business and then joining the Chamber and being part is community. And community is such a common word. And it really has, certainly has helped us grow our business with the mindset and the thinking that people have when you're giving back to the community, and how that just comes right around to support your own business. So all are welcome. And I'm excited for the next in a series. I also just want to shout out to Northwest Federal Credit Union, who is our sponsor for that day, as well as bringing in, we're doing a collaboration or a co-partnership with them and their West program, Women Empowered, Stronger Together. So quick shout out for that team and that group. So we're excited to bring them and our other partners. So thank you, of course, Liz, for being here and sharing this. And I do hope this is just like the prequel, right? I just hope there's going to be some I know there will be follow-up conversations to this. And I look forward to your continued support and your engagement because you've really elevated this. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela.
Stay in touch with us for future episodes. Like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.
Audio Jungle.